You're probably a chief executive, managing director, managing partner, or some other owner looking for solutions to growth problems, looking for ways to kickstart your growth, looking for some suggestions about how to identify those hidden hurdles and get rid of them so that you can get moving on your growth trajectory, making sure it's going upward and forward. Well, you've come to the right place. So let me take a few minutes to outline a little bit about our work at Growth Curve, who we are and what we do, and introduce you to CEOExpand, which is our online consulting do-it-yourself offer, which allows you to access tools, frameworks, and methodologies that will give you the opportunity to do your own consulting with coaching from me along the way. Now, one of the questions we all have to ask is, how often do we take time to step out of the business for a minute to work on the business instead of in the business? It's really important that we do that from time to time, and I hope this is your time. The first thing that I want to introduce you to is a growth curve. This global scenario that you see in front of us here, every 10 years there's a global adjustment. It's either a Wall Street crash, a GFC, or a health crisis, and it causes a dip in the global arena. It means that countries' GDP takes a fall, it means that industries suffer, and it means that businesses suffer. So this is mirrored down through that chain of, from the country through the industries to individuals. So we do a lot of work in understanding growth curves, journeys from the past, the current, and the future, and we use growth curve analysis to help you discover where those things are called hurdles, what they look like, find the hidden ones, and move forward. Now, before the health crisis, people were much more comfortable. They had things under control. Chief executives, they had their transformational plans going pretty well. They were achieving their diversity targets. They were onto some new growth avenues. They had new countries and new products and markets and engineering new things. And so things were going along quite well. They were pretty happy that they were working on more green solutions, meeting sustainability targets. All those things were pretty much under control. But along comes 2020, and then all of a sudden, we find that we've got a crisis on our hands. We had to face things that we'd never faced before, which was, pivot to working from home, deal with the health crisis, speed up that digitalisation process and adapt everything to doing everything online. That was a major cause, but we did it. And we did it without the usual, shall we have a change program? Do we need a change communications program? Do we need to spend 12 months warming everybody up to the change? All of that got dumped. We just did the change. No buy-in exercises. We just did it because we had to. Then along comes 2022, when this phrase, permacrisis, was called the word of the year by the Collins Dictionary, because we had such a long period of instability and insecurity. And of course in 2022 we had the war, which increased prices, and that has caused a major global economic and financial drama. So as we look to help organisations with their strategic challenges and looking at growth hurdles, we of course have to start with the big picture. We have to look outside at what's going on in the government. Technological advances are impacting all our industries. We've got leadership challenges everywhere. All of these create hurdles, or can create hurdles, of which you might need to take into account when you are looking forward to plan your future. So some of these things are directly relevant and others have a more distant impact, but all of them impact on industries and organisations' growth. Now this is our happy place. This is what we do. We do strategy, growth strategy, and help people overcome growth hurdles and problems to get back on a good growthward trajectory. We design and lead transformational change programs, and we've been doing this for decades now, so we've got a very clear approach to that, which is very heavily based around culture change. Now, over 25 years, we have developed broad global experience, and as I mentioned, I've worked across New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, all across Europe, the UK, the USA, and further afield. And so that global experience comes into the equation. You can see it, feel it, and hear it, lots of case studies, but it's really important because even if you are operating in a domestic market, you've got a highly multicultural workforce, and you've got people from different cultures, which is really important when you're thinking about what businesses you're going to operate in. You want to make sure that your employee base reflects your market in terms of diversity and so forth. All of these things are integrated into our conversations. We have a unique process which we have called growth curve analysis. We have another unique process in the culture space and the transformation space. So each of them has their own proprietary tools and frameworks that we've developed over many years that we have proven to work with many clients, and you can see that on our testimonials page on our website. Now, what we've done in recent times is we've converted what we used to do in a face-to-face way with clients in a boardroom or a conference room to an online offer, not just because people are working from home, but because it's been a really expensive notion, which is to do whole day workshops in clients' boardrooms and at away weekends. Those are expensive gigs. By bringing it online and giving you a slimmed down version, firstly, the process that can take 6 to 9 months in a boardroom is now 12 weeks online. Secondly, we're able to give you just what you need to be able to learn for yourself so you can take your top team through the process on your own time in your own organisation. Doing it face to face, people have to come out of work and sit in a boardroom or a conference room for a day or 2 or 3, or might take weeks and months. So this way, it's less disruptive. It's handing over to you the power to lead your own consulting process and do your own diagnostic and come up with your own answers, but with someone who's got the experience that's designed it for you and is guiding you through by video and live Zoom coaching calls every 2 weeks, where we catch up and talk about how did you go? What did you learn from that? Did you do the diagnostic? What was the output from that? How have you applied that to your business? There are many aha moments that we would have in the boardroom, and I feel certain that you will have those same aha moments as you do your diagnostic using the tools that we are putting together for you. So these are available. The CEOExpand is underway, and I'd like to talk to you about the details on that program. So the program is 12 weeks, as I said. It's divided into 6 modules, as you can see here. In Module 1, we start with introducing you to our proprietary methods and tools and showing you how they work. In Module 2, we apply that to the other growth curves around you, like your nation, your industry, your supplier, your training bodies. And in working on their growth curves, you get to play around with the tools and get comfortable with them before you go to your own business in Module 3 and start applying our tools to your business. We ask you to do a diagnostic of all your different cost centres, so your different regions, your locations, your offices, the nations you work in, each service line, each product line, and so forth. Once you have broken them down and done them individually using our tools, you then overlay them on top of each other, and you can see the alignment or the out of alignment of your initiatives. What this does is it helps you identify where you're at on your growth curve, whether you've got one leg in the past and another leg in the future, and you are straddling both, the old you and the new you, and that's where the tension comes from. You'll get an aha moment at that stage, and then you'll be very motivated to make change. So you'll start to look forward to see what the plan is going to be when we get to Module 4, looking at the potential, looking at the scenarios, and looking at the options to go forward. When we get to Module 5, we take a look at how you're going to make these decisions, and we take a little look at your leadership style, because sometimes we can hold ourselves back. And in Module 6, we're going to talk with you about how do you prepare to implement all of this when you get back, so that it doesn't go nowhere. You will come out of this with the full diagnostic suite of tools, the output of your diagnosis, the output of your decision making, and a plan for implementation that you can share with others in your business. Now, as I said, this comes to you by way of videos with me talking to camera just like this. You can do it at your own pace. You can dive into those videos in the evening, at work, at the weekend, at the beach house, wherever you happen to be. You also get a copy of the book, Stepping Up, which I put together some years ago after 100 interviews. Now, the 100 interviews are reported in the book. There are over 800 quotes from leaders from all around the Asia-Pacific region in that book, and we're talking about business culture and how you need to build a culture that can be successful across multiple geographies. You also get a short leadership styles report, which tells you a little bit about your own style and helps us to coach you going forward. There are 5 key outcomes that I've listed here. The first one is that you are going to illuminate your past, present and future journey on your growth curve. Really illuminating experience. During this process, we're going to help you to identify the hidden hurdles. In our experience, most chief executives address symptoms, not causes, and we're going to make sure that you know what is causing your problems so they don't recur. We're going to help you in doing the diagnostic. You will see how many initiatives you've got underway and which ones are critical to your performance so that you can choose the growth accelerators that are going to make the difference for the future. As we help you analyse your growth hurdles and your growth pathways, we need to make sure that you make a choice that fits your capability, fits your stage on your growth curve. You can't choose to be something that you're not, so you have to work within the constraints of your age, your style, your funding, your support, and the nature of your operation. If you're a professional services firm, you're going to have a very different approach from a owner-operated, large, private family enterprise. Very different cultures, very different growth curves, so therefore you've got to find the one that fits for you. And lastly, this process leaves you feeling informed, knowledgeable, skilled, and equipped because you've got your outcomes in a plan of action to take back, and we show you how to prepare and present that to your leaders, your partners, your boards, your investors, your bankers, anyone that you need to know the story of what you've got and where you're going. So ultimately we want to help you realise your dream, and we find often that people are feeling a bit beleaguered by the exhaustion that comes from all the change of the last few years, and so what we want to do is support you so that you can feel confident about your future dream becoming a reality. Question: why would you be able to work with us? I know you're asking that, and let me just very briefly say, here's a little bit about me. I've worked globally. I am a futurist. I do see the future, and I like to keep ahead of the curve. I'm a strategist, a change agent, and a speaker and a coach, and I've worked across all these different nations, lived and worked in these nations, so I do feel that I have been totally immersed in different cultures, and I'm able to therefore bring that experience to you in this work. You can see here the spread across the different cultures that I've worked in and the experience that you'll gain. Here is a display of some of the, 10% of the brands that I've worked with who are global brands that you would recognise. So it goes from professional services to banking to technology to universities and so forth, science departments and so forth. There's so many different industries that we've covered. There are 2 key things that most of the people that we work with have: a high degree of intellectual property. So even if it's a technology company that has physical hardware, they've also got this very big element of intellectual property being a key resource for them in terms of their ability to excel. And the second thing is everyone we work with has a huge service component to their business. So even if they have a product line, they still have a very big service element. So those are the 2 things that we specialise in. On our website, you will find lots of testimonials from clients who say, she's a pleasure to work with, but she's challenging because she'll give it to you as you need to see it. She's frank, and she, is fearless about giving you feedback that you need to hear. That is me. I like to be open and honest, and I have, worked with very senior people who say you don't always hear what you need to do from people. They don't always want to tell you because they think they might upset you. Well, I am able to deliver the message without upsetting my clients. I've learned over many years, how to do that, and I work with people who want to hear it. So that's the difference. So you can go to the website and read a little bit about, the people that we've worked with. If you'd like to consider working with us on CEOExpand, we'd love to have you on the program. However, we need to meet for a conversation about you and your business and what your challenges are, because I need to feel comfortable that the program can deliver what you need and want. I also need to be comfortable that you are one of those people that I've worked with before who wants to really look hard at, the business's current state and is prepared to look deep to find the challenges so that you can address those growth hurdles, find the hidden ones and address them so that you can move on, and that you've got the focus and the energy and the commitment and the passion to want to come out the end of this with answers, because I am giving you our consulting methodology so that you can do it in your own time, and I'm coaching you all the long way every 2 weeks with calls that help to support you in that process. But ultimately, you're the one who has to make this work. So I want to make sure on our call that you want to make it work, that you want to achieve great results, and that at the end of 12 weeks, you're going to come out a winner, and I'm going to be able to say, there you go, I'm really happy and satisfied that CEOExpand has delivered to you. Around this video, you'll find a link to my calendar, so you can book a call with me, or you will find a telephone or an email on the page as well. So if you would rather just send me a quick note by email in the first instance, by all means, please do that, or otherwise book a call with me and we'll have the conversation about you, your business. There's no fee for this, it's a free consultation, and there's absolutely no obligation to move forward. It's just the opportunity to have a rigorous conversation about where you're at and whether the work that I've done for many others, as I say, the testimonials are on the website, whether what you hear them say, they gain from doing the work with me. If you're interested in the same gain, the same benefits, then please reach out to me. I'm looking forward to having a chat with you. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye for now.